Tottenham have a huge opportunity in front of them. It's below me. Spurs, new manager. It's their Manchester United moment. A year ago, we had Pochettino or the new dawn of Ten Hag to choose, and the fans wanted the new path. What choice will Spurs make? Because I tell you what, with Nagelsmann available, they've got a massive opportunity to do something that other fans of other clubs would look at and go, you know what? That's the right move. The question is, will Spurs bottle it like they have bottled many things in recent years? It's big. Look, driving back from Manchester today, listening to what the latest is with Conte, listening to what the latest is with Bayern Munich, I've got to say, I can't speak. I cannot understand. I was out last night and somebody said, Bayern Munich are going to sack Nagelsmann to take Tuchel. And I was like, my mind was quite, just trying to compute it. I was like, hold on a minute. Bayern Munich have got Man City in the Champions League. They played well against PSG. That he's not sackable. Why is he being sackable? Why is he being sacked? And then you look at it and you go, this is a great opportunity for Tottenham. Now, look, I think Nagelsmann's being sacked by Bayern because he doesn't fit in with that club. It's hierarchy, it's history, the personality's there. He's very demanding. He wants things done his way. And Bayern Munich probably gone, look, well, it's not working. Let's go and get Thomas Tuchel. He's a better fit. In no means does that mean that Nagelsmann is a spent force. He's only 35. He did a fantastic job at Leipzig. I think he's still one of the most exciting managers in football. I'd have took him at Man United last summer. I wouldn't have took him over Ten Hag in hindsight, of course not. But I'd been excited if we would have been in for him, but we couldn't be in for him because he'd just gone to Bayern Munich. This is a massive opportunity for Spurs. I don't know what Spurs fans think, but as a Manchester United fan, I look at this and I go, you've got exactly the same situation going on at exactly the same time as last year. It was late March 2022 and United were interviewing Pochettino and Ten Hag, and all the press and all the ex-players were saying, go with Pochettino, he knows what he's doing in this league, he's Premier League proven. And all the United fans were going, yeah, and that's the problem. He's Premier League proven bottle job. He'll beat all the teams below him, he'll get you fourth place, but he can't deal with the top four. And ultimately, he's had his chance and he's not done it. We wanted Ten Hag. We saw this manager from abroad that was exciting, had a distinctive style of play that was progressive, attacking, wanted to do his things his own way. And I look at Nagelsmann and I look at Tottenham and I go, that is so obviously the opportunity. And I'm telling you what, Liverpool fans, Man United fans, Arsenal fans, Chelsea fans, City fans, with a brain will look at that and go, you know what, that's a good move for Spurs. It's much better than going back to Pochettino. The question is, will Spurs, as I say, will they miss the opportunity like they've missed so many others? You look at that Tottenham side over the last 4 years, it's park the bus football, it's anti-football. Conte is going to get the sack, by the way. I know it's not happened yet, but it is going to happen. It has to happen. He's undermined the club, he's undermined the players. They can't stick with Conte. I personally think the reason he's still in Italy and he's not been sacked yet is because they're trying to find out some sort of financial severance pay package, whatever you want to call it. But Spurs can sort that out. What they need to do is, with Tuchel being appointed as Bayern Munich's manager, Nagelsmann out of a job, there's only at clubs like Bayern or Real Madrid do these sort of things happen or PSG. I mean, they've done it with Ancelotti, haven't they? Where fantastic manager, Chelsea used to do it as well. They did it to Ancelotti as well. What I'm trying to say is it's very rare where a top-class manager gets publicly sacked and undermined when they probably don't really deserve it. And then it's about who can take advantage of that. Now, I look at that Spurs side, anti-football, desperately lacking the identity of what Tottenham's all about. Tottenham should be playing good football and desperately needs a new path, invigoration, excitement, and somebody with the personality to do it. Will step forward Nagelsmann, because if you know anything about him, what he's done at Bayern and the reason he's probably been sacked from Bayern is exactly what Spurs need. Nagelsmann hasn't done a bad job at Bayern, but he's upset a few people because of the personality he has. He wants to do things his way, and that has reportedly upset people like Manuel Neuer, people in the hierarchy at Dortmund, Munich, who do things their way. What a manager to bring to Spurs. What a manager to change Spurs. You bring him in straight away. I mean, I'm driving back from Manchester today listening to the radio, and there's two Spurs fans arguing with each other at completely polar opposites. One of them saying, Conte's right for calling the club out. It's a disgrace. Daniel Levy needs to go. Another one's going, no, Daniel Levy's doing a good job, and backing him. And I'm like, what Spurs need? I'm not here to argue about who's right and who's wrong about Spurs. It's not my club. But what Spurs need is an identity. And I think someone like Nagelsmann gives them that identity. He comes in, he's managed by Munich, which gives him that big club mentality as a manager. He's still ridiculously young. In 10 years, he'll still only be 45. He comes to Spurs as a project manager with long-term visions, a style of football that's easy on the eye, and a team that desperately needs a kick up the arse. All you've got to do is bring Nagelsmann in and say, we want you to build this club over the next 5 years. He'll still only be 40. If he wants to go and manage Real Madrid or whatever, he can still do that. And we will back you on what you want to do. And basically, if any of these players come knocking on our door saying they don't like your style, we'll tell them to go. We will back you to the hill. This is not Bayern Munich. You don't need to adhere to any, historical preferences of this football club or its stature, because we don't really have any. We are a clean canvas for you to paint the picture that you want, and we will back you to do that. And I think it's almost fallen into Tottenham's lap to go and get Nagelsmann, even if they have to wait till the summer to get him. I mean, if he can come in now, bonus time. But if you have to wait till the summer, it's fallen into their lap. And I saw some Tottenham fans saying, oh, this is why Bayern Munich have done it. Bayern Munich have done it because they want to get Tuchel before we do. I actually think Nagelsmann, and I don't know what people think about this, but absolutely with all of my heart and conviction, I actually think Nagelsmann suits Spurs way more than Thomas Tuchel, because you haven't got the Chelsea baggage. Tuchel can play good football, but can also be very, organised defensively. Nagelsmann has a brand of football that I feel it fits Spurs. And I tell you what, if Spurs get Nagelsmann, you've got Arteta at Arsenal, you've got Pep at Man City, Klopp at Liverpool, Manchester United with Ten Hag, Chelsea, look, we'll see what happens with Potter. But, I mean, what a collection of managers with different styles, but most of them attacking styles. It can only be good for the Premier League. My only concern is it's Spurs. I mean, I actually want Spurs to get Nagelsmann, because I've said many a time, I find Spurs boring. And some Spurs fans think I've got it in for them. Well, I have, but that's how I consume my football. If I'm watching Chelsea Spurs, I want to be entertained. I don't support either club. But one thing about Tottenham over the years, always you could put a Tottenham game on, whether it was Harry Redknapp managing, or David Ginola, or Les Ferdinand, or Darren Anderton, or Gary Lineker, or Gaza. You could put a Spurs game on and be entertained. They probably weren't going to win anything, but they were an entertaining, inoffensive side. They're not winning anything now, and they're boring. They're offensive on the eyes. I think this is a great move for Spurs. The only thing is I don't trust them to get it right. And look, that's going to mean overlooking a manager that's been one of your better managers in the last 20 years. But I'm telling you, we had this a year ago at United. You had the media and ex-players of United saying Podge is the man, and the fans were dead against it, and they were vocally dead against it. And I just wonder again whether Tottenham fans, well, it's up to them what they want. Maybe they want Pochettino, but maybe you need to get a bit vocal about this opportunity, because we were on the United stand, we were going on and on about it. We were putting it all across social media and people reacting and putting their own opinions out there. Ten Hag's the man, Ten Hag's the man. Replying to every Man United tweet saying Ten Hag's the man. I mean, I'm not saying they read it, but fan opinion is important to clubs. And if Spurs fans want Nagelsmann, I would be vocal about it, because I think it's the perfect fit. Well, there's no guarantee of success at Spurs. It's not, there hasn't been any success to be guaranteeing it. But I think exactly the right manager to bring in. And Pochettino, not for me. Not for me. For the same reasons I didn't want him at United. I think he's yesterday's news. And you've got to look forward. Ten Hag was something new. He was the Pochettino of when he first went to Spurs. I think it's a mistake to go back. And the bad thing for Spurs is the same thing with United. If we'd gone with Poch, Ten Hag would be somewhere else, and that opportunity's gone. If you go back with Poch, Nagelsmann won't be around for long, and then what are you going to do? Really interesting, but real opportunity at a time for Tottenham where, they can be progressive. I like Conte, and I agree with what he said, and I think he needs to part ways, but he's sat in Italy sorting out money to go, and Spurs are in, what are we going to do? Well, actually, here's an opportunity where Conte might actually feel a little bit like he's lost if you go and get Nagelsmann. But it's up to them what they do. Get your comments in below, smash a like on the video, and let me think what you know. Thanks for watching.